I'd like to, thank Rabbi Waxman for giving me the opportunity to speak this week. This week was Asarah B'teves. I wanna just share a small collection of ideas that highlight a choshev and nekuda about the patira of Moshe Shapiro this week. 5 years ago.
You were close to Moshe?
I had very little to do with Rav Moshe. I maybe sat in the same room as him maybe 5 times in my life. I was introduced to him, but it's a schus for me to say berabim that although indirectly he was the reason why I'm Shem Torah mitzvahs today. So I just want to share a few ideas which I learned from my rebbeim, who are talmidim of his. That's what I mean by indirectly. I was in a yeshiva where from the Rosh Yeshiva till the rebbeim, they were all one kvutza, talmidim of his. Yeah. And so he was nifter on Asarah B'teves 5 years ago. Chazal tell us that Asarah B'teves was the third day of darkness. Shiur de l'olam. And on that day, there was 3 days. שלשה ימים, ירד חושך l'olam. Asarah B'teves was the last day. Rav Moshe died on a day of darkness. And they wanted to say, my Rebbe, Rabbi Siegel, wanted to say an idea like this, that Rav Moshe, he was able to see in the dark. He was able to see the unseen. And I want to develop this, idea and bring it down to a way that we can understand that topic and work on ourselves, because it was something it was his legacy, what he left over. That was something special about it. He was able to see things that weren't seen in people, in Chazal mainly. Years ago, I heard shiur from a close talmid of his, Rabbi Avram Kamenetsky, Shmuel's oldest son. And everybody who knows the Kamenetskys, would appreciate this ma'aseh a little bit. But we were learning a Gemara which mentioned Rav Yosef, the Amoira, who we all know was a Sagi Nor. Rav Yosef was blind. And the way the Rebbe laid the Gemara is, Sagi Nor Rav Yosef was someone who had a lot of light. So we all looked at him, what is that? What does that mean? So he said to us, go outside and stare at the sun. And that's the definition of a summa, is someone who has a lot of light. Is blinded by the light. And I want to say, just take it one step further, there is a word in Aramaic for a blind man, a summa. But for some reason, Chazal HaKadoshim, anyone who was blind, Rav Yosef, was called a Sagi Nor. It wasn't called a Summa. Sagi Nor Pshat is, he had so much light that his Ikari ear was when he was blind. He saw without seeing. There's a chidush. Rav Moshe says a chidush, or my Rebbe really says it al derech Rav Moshe. And I can't go into the details about it. That would be a whole shiva. It's not negay this week so much anyway. But the makkah of Chosech, is coming up in a few weeks. It says le'ro ish esachiv shloshes yamim ulchol b'nei Yisrael hayu or b'mashvaisam. There's a pella that there was Chosech and Or at the same time. So Efshar Chidush that the Chosech of Mitzrayim, yeah, they said it over B'Shem, yeah. a chiddush that the Chosech of Mitzrayim was a blinding light. Blinding light. The sun, a blinding light. And those who left Mitzrayim were able to see without seeing. That's how they left. A chiddush. I once heard a murder kasha that by lulav, we have the igud of the lulav. Now everything makes sense until you come to the hadassah. The lulav is the shedra, the esrig is the leif, the aravas, there's two of them, they're the lips. You get to the hadassah, and the hadassah are the eyes. Why three? Why three hadassah? Only have two eyes. Why three? And the whole hidur mitzvah of hadas is the shilush. What's going on? So the murder teretz to that is that there is an eye that's not seen. It's not visible. It's not a visible eye. And that eye is the eye that can see unseen things. That's the one. And there, you need shilush. You need to have 20/20 vision with that eye just as much as these two eyes. The eye of the Sefer, the Einei HaSefer. That eye has to be 20/20. That's a chiddush. I told it over to a friend of mine, and he said to me, a murdika kasha that Rav Moshe has, also in the Indian of Sukkah. Sukkah is al shem aschach nikra Sukkah. Schach is made for tzeil, blocks the light, makes dark. More sun, chamas merubah tzil is possible. That's what schach is. Schach covers the light. And yet, Sarah Imenu, first time she's mentioned in Torah, she's named with the name Yiska. Shesoicha beruach hakodesh. She sees with Ruach HaKodesh. Frank Moshe, I don't understand. Sukkah is what? Sukkah is tzeil. Sukkah you can't see. You see, it's possible. And yet, the way she saw was al yidei sukkah, al yidei schach, yiska. How do you see without seeing? That's divorce. Same idea. You see without seeing. Just, we'll end off with the Nachash. It's a pella, a chiddush of the Nachash. The Nachash came to Chava. The Torah tells us that the Nachash was Arum Mikol Adam. Arum Mikol Behem. Arum Mikol Behem. He was naked. That's unclothed. That's what the word means. Arum is... So that's already... We need Chazal. Chazal say... Uncle says, Chokim, that's not the literal translation. Arum means unclothed, for sure. Chazal tell us that he was Chokim, Miloshin Orm. And Orm is not only smart, Orm is a trickster, is a trickery. He's coming be'orma. So my Rebbe asks, I don't understand, the word Arum means no surprises, unclothed, azoidos. Yeah? So where's the trickery? Where's the trick? And the answer to that is that when you have a present, when the Nachash presents to you, that's it. You see what you see is what you get, and there's nothing that's beyond the surface. That's sheker. Kula sheker. Has to be that there's something that's beyond, something past the surface. Again, I never really had any shaykhs to Rav Moshe. No, I didn't. But I tried listening to the shiurim, the talmidim. His gadlus was, one of his gadlusim were that he saw things beyond its surface. Always. Never. And it was never like a fancy divrei Torah with mar mekoimis. He just spoke psukim and chazal. That's it. And everything was past what you saw. Always. The oimik. You have to see depth. You have to see oimik. And this, for us, is also something that we can do. Never take things face value. There's always something further, beneath the surface. That's something, l'schusay hopefully, and thank you for listening.